Holy moly, guys. NWM is absolutely shocking. I got some videos here in China about this in action, actually compared to Huawei's autonomous driving solution, the Huawei ADS latest software. And let's see how it stacks up against Huawei. And of course, absolutely shocking. Okay. But first, a message from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by IQSTEL, ticker symbol IQST. With 400 million run rate in 2025 for global telecom leader as a result of definitive fintech acquisition, fast-tracking 1 billion growth plan, IQSTEL, also IQST, moves forward on 1 million subsidiary sale with stock dividend to shareholders. They are a diversified business with divisions focused on telecommunications, fintech, electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, and more, with 340 million revenue forecast for 2025. They have strong organic growth, acquisitions, and high margin product expansion. They have a new rebranded program with expansion into fintech, AI, and cybersecurity to address many challenges across multiple industries. They have completed 11 acquisitions since 2018 and actively pursuing more, accelerating rollout of cutting-edge eSIM and roaming connectivity services. They have 57.6 million in Q1 revenue, reaffirms path to 1 billion by 2027 as a global tech evolution accelerates. They have 11.6 million in stockholder equity, or $4.38 per common share. They have successfully Nasdaq uplisted on May 14, 2025, with no capital raises or shareholder dilutions. They have a definitive agreement to acquire 51% of Globe Topper FinTech Innovator with operations across America, Europe, and Africa, and effective July 1st, 2025. This is definitely a very, very, very strong company, leading edge technology, strong revenue growth per share. And they are currently trading on Nasdaq with a share price of $9.44 per share as of recording this video. And they could represent a massive opportunity for you guys. So definitely add them to your watch list. Keep an eye out for this company. They might have very good news coming forward. And of course, with their strong revenue growth, I would not be surprised if this is another space rocket that goes to the moon. So once again, IQSTEL, ticker symbol IQST. You must check them out. Do your own due diligence. Absolutely fantastic company, leading edge telecommunications company with lots of future potential. So add them to your watch list. Now back to the video. Now, before we watch the video clips, I want to just give you guys the rundown, the conclusion, all right? If I had to summarize NIO's NWM, the version right now, the software right now, with one word, it would be aggressive, okay? And jumping to conclusions, you'll be able to see that the car does drive very, very aggressive. I'll defend NIO on this one. I'll explain why. But you can see that it tends to have the tendency to go over solid lines, which you're not supposed to do. And if you get caught doing it, photographed crossing a solid line, you're going to get a ticket. Okay, so you're not supposed to do that, but NIO NWM does do that aggressively. And also, when there's a crosswalk, you'll see that normally you wait for all the pedestrians to cross and then you go forward. But you can see the car tends to inch forward, a little bit intimidating if you're the pedestrian. You try to cross the crosswalk and you see the cars inching forward like, hey, are you letting me cross or no? Right? So you'll see all this, and it's very aggressive, okay? And a lot of the content creators here in China have come to the conclusion that you have to have more interventions compared to other guys or other autonomous driving solutions. But I'm going to defend NIO on this one, and I'm going to tell why NIO's autonomous driving is so aggressive. Because in China, everybody drives in an aggressive manner. Okay, this isn't like Canada where you're all courteous and there's a pedestrian, you stop the car and let the pedestrian cross. No. Here in China, nobody stops for the pedestrian unless, they're in the middle of the road. Then you're kind of forced to stop. Otherwise, if you stop for every pedestrian, you're going to have a supermassive traffic jam lined up all the way back because there's just too many cars here in China. So, and people driving in China is absolute savagery. People cut each other off all the time. It's like crazy. So, in that aspect, you do need to be aggressive, or otherwise, you're going to be bullied on the road. People are going to cut you off. People are going to go into your lane, and you're just going to be like, it's going to be and you're not going to be able to get anywhere. Okay, so I do have to defend NIO's aggressiveness, but however, crossing solid lines, that's a no-no. And also, sort of trying to cut people off. I mean, going into incoming traffic and sort of, it sees the car there, but it's kind of like, I got the guts to tell you that you probably are going to let me go through, all right? I got bigger kahunas than you. It's sort of driving with that attitude, okay? So definitely they need to tone down the aggressiveness. But yeah, now let's watch those clips where they compare it against the Huawei ADS. And this is from another content creator here in China. So yeah, and then you guys can sort of judge yourself what you guys think about this, okay? So let's roll those clips.
Let's look at the problem first. Why? Because the M9 only has 3 issues. First, road work requires crossing double yellow lines. No detour plan was made. Second, it didn't recognize the green light while simultaneously pressing the accelerator. Lastly, after turning right, it mistook a red light for straight ahead and accelerated through. We can see M9 has eliminated safety issues with no risks at all. It feels very safe throughout the drive. Now let's look at the future. Huawei ADS is like punching Nanshan and kicking Beihai Kindergarten. 24 interventions. Most issues are from erratic lane changes, unstable trajectory, and various chaotic behaviors. There's no sense of safety. First, during the cross-city test, the first future intervention is when turning right, it runs to the left turn lane, crossing time limits. Then when it needs to go straight, it patrols to the left turn lane. That's the second time. The third time, all 3 lanes are for going straight, yet it still tries to change lanes across time limits. It's treating the road like a living room. Fourth time is another patrol issue. On left turn lane, near time limit, doesn't go straight. Road construction. Future correctly identifies diagonal chasing with necessary action, but facing straight vehicles on the left shows no intention to slow down. That's 5 times now. Sixth future intervention is another patrol issue, taking wrong ramp on highway without hesitation. 7th time, tries to cross time limit again. I directly broke the steering wheel, resulting in a turn over 90 degrees. This MVP Plus doesn't even exit. Steering motor still fighting me. A bug I've never seen in other brands. 8th attempt to cross time limit follows, then entering a big winding curve. Though speed drops to about 32 kilometers per h, future still pressures time limit line. That's 9 times. 10th time is on the left turn lane, near time limit, no intention to change lanes. Forces direction into straight lane. In Zhongshan urban area, future starts with a snow-like move, heading straight for a starting taxi. That's the first mark. I replayed this part repeatedly, found no clear intention to slow down. Second time tries to cross at red light. Both are straight lanes. What are you trying to do? Front car drives erratically. You follow the chaos? Though early versions of other brands had issues here too, they've long improved through OTA updates. Then the future slows down in front of the zebra crossing to give way to pedestrians. Just get ready to cross it. As a result, pedestrians are ready to go. The ET5 suddenly arches forward. I'm going to put the brakes on the emergency, accumulate 3 times. The 4th time in the future is in the straight lane, misidentified a red light for a left turn, stuck on the road. Then the M9 got stuck on the construction section. The ET5 didn't get by. I didn't want to embarrass it. As a result, it is close to the railway station. Suddenly, a kick accelerates and is about to crash into it. Accumulated access 5 times. To be honest, it's all so close. Do you not have the ability to recognize obstacles? The 6th time in the future is to press navigate to turn left. Also on the left turn lane, suddenly I want to cross the time limit continuously. Lane change is performed. I don't understand too much. The 7th attempt was made to cross the time limit to circumambulate. Everyone is queuing. You love to engage in special. For the 8th time, it was the same as changing lanes across the time limit. It's really painful. Then it misidentified the red light at the next intersection. Again, stuck on the road again. Accumulate 9 times, and that's not all. Children line up to cross the street. The future begins to be recognized. But then I couldn't help but speed up to arch forward. It really scared me half to death. Next, the red light allows to turn right. The future parking waits send a foot of the door. I lost it once I thought the world model would recognize the signage. It turned out that it didn't work yet. The 12th time in the future is that there is a tricycle on the right, approaching the time limit. There is also no lane change, right turn lane. The 13th in the future, there was another attempt to change lanes within the time limit. The 14th time was to enter the all-day linear express bus lane. And in the middle of the testing process, there were also 11 times when I released water to the future. It doesn't do it well enough, but I just didn't take over. For example, when exiting a ramp, The corners are very closed. It is possible to use two cars in parallel. The result, the ET5 also can't stay centered. Crimping the right side realizes the driving and turn left under the viaduct. Too close to the left flower beach. The sense of shock to the user is very strong. It reminds me of the time when I ran the test last year. Injured wheels that press the road teeth. Face the queue-cutting vehicle in front of you. Its deceleration is not timely, although the peak deceleration speed control is good, 0.36 G, but in the end, the distance is too close. Such ordinary people, I would have stepped on the brakes a long time ago, and at the intersection where the yellow light is flashing, it goes straight to the spot with small broken steps, stop and go. It's really caca and pause, and it's absolutely reproducible. I believe that future car owners should have encountered it. The hanging head finally joined this time, but the experience was terrible incoherence. The traffic efficiency is relatively poor. The driver in the back honked his horn frantically. And then this, once, I also like to talk about it very much. There is a high-speed driving mode. It's close to L3, but after I experienced it, this high-speed driving robbery belongs to the product of relative helplessness. At its core, it also prevents lane changes. Because currently this world model, the trajectory is too picky. If it is said that the program is chaotic and changes lanes, at best, it's a low-speed collision. Then you're on the high-speed 100 at every turn, or even 120 kilometers of chaotic lane changes. Who will bear the consequences of this? So how do we rate the first version of the future world model? We think in terms of objective data and subjective experience, it's better than last year's pre-smoking version. It's definitely better, but also the most last year Huawei ideal initial beta version end-to-end level. My subjective feeling is that it is 10 months behind. It's a subjective feeling. Precise references are not available.